You're good to go.
All right, awesome.
See, directions, aren't they fun?
Thank you.
You were welcome. Don't make me crazy, but I love you.
Oh, I need to get all the basic information.
All right.
What's your full name?
I am Bruce Aaron Rasmussen. You want to know how I got that name?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my parents liked Bruce. As a matter of fact, if you look on Google, Bruce in 1950 when I was born, spiked. A lot of Bruces in 1950. And then they went to my two older brothers and they said, come up with another name. You come up with the middle name. And they weren't into it. So they opened up the book of names, and there was A-A-R-O-N right at the top of the alphabet. We want this one. So it's Bruce Aaron Rasmussen.
And how old are you?
I'm 63.
And where did you come from?
Oh, I've been all around. I born in Billings, Montana, and went to Cincinnati, Ohio for my formative years, high school years. Went to Withrow High School, the home of the Tigers. Yeah, and enjoyed myself there. Good time. I was president of the band. I was president of the chess club. I was president of the Honor Society even. I was homecoming king and queen. I was captain of the swim team. I was just enjoying myself, but I had to get to college. So junior year I decided, damn, I'm not going to make it with grades. I was a B student, which I was feeling bad about because both my older brothers were A students. And so I worked on swimming. I was always a good athlete with lots of endurance. And I got 2 colleges after me. And actually didn't do very well on my SATs. Got a 475 in English. I had 650 or so in math. But 475 wasn't good enough to go to the Air Force Academy, which was a free ride, so I wanted to do that. And so I got one of those books, How to Take the SAT, and I studied it for 3 months straight, went in, took it again, got a 575, and a third of the questions that were on the test were the same ones I'd already studied. So it was E-A-S-Y, and you can do the same thing if you're going to college. Then, I know this is just the first question, but from where I came from, it's a good question. I don't know if people know me, so let me elaborate on this one. So then, went to the Air Force Academy, 4 years there, owed them 6 years for that $100,000 education. That's what it was back then. 6 years in the Air Force, so I got out and I'm a brown bar in the Air Force, and I went to flying as a navigator, flew C-130s, trash hauling all around Europe and South America, and that's pretty much it. We went then to WC-130s on Guam, and I flew into Typhoons, 34 fully developed Typhoons. I got 2 air medals for it. And then I went to AC-130 gunships, and yeah, they're called the duty folks. I flew that monster. It's a heck of a thing. And then my mother was dying from Parkinson's disease, so I got a humanitarian reassignment up to Fairchild Air Force Base, Spokane, Washington, which is just across the border from my home of many years, where my parents grew up, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I used to go out to Idaho in the summers. Every summer I still do. And got into logistics, the art of getting the right thing to the right place at the right time so we could win wars. That was my mantra. And then I went over to Europe, and from Europe to, right there I was, worked at headquarters, U.S. Air Force Europe, and then got a command job down in Turkey as a weapons storage commander, munitions storage commander. And then I came back to Special Operations at MacDill Air Force Base, and then went to the Pentagon, Foreign Military Sales, where I was selling to the Andean Ridge countries, trying to stop a flow of narcotics into this country. My kids were coming into high school, and they wanted to send me to Santiago, Chile as an air attaché. And so I jumped out, and I went to work teaching at an alternative school. Emotional growth was the alternative, and they wouldn't even let you into the classroom until you spent 6 months in the wood corral talking about your issues. Yeah. And so I couldn't get out of there without crying. Spent 3, they made you cry. You had to break down and show that you had feelings. So I did. And then I went into public school, went to Charleston, South Carolina, taught there for 10 years, predominantly black population. You know how many blacks we've got in this school? Well, that's how many whites we had down there in the classroom. Very interesting, enjoyed it, was only supposed to spend 5 years there. I owed them 5 years. They paid for my teaching certification and even gave me a stipend. So I owed them 5 years in an inner city school. I spent 10 years. I came out here because my daughter in the Coast Guard got stationed in Depot Bay. And so she actually got stationed in Uquin, and my son-in-law in Depot Bay. And so I'm here. And I've been loving it. 7 years. Culmination. Yeah. Did I answer that one well enough?
Perfect.
Okay, all right.
How did you feel when you realized someone was blogging it?
Oh, well, I didn't, and Miley Stolen's really the story here. She called me. She was right on it. She was going to stop that right away, and I'm thankful she did. My immediate response to her was, well, let's just get this taken down. That's pretty derogatory. Impugns my character. So let's get it taken down. And then if we can't get it taken down, let's make a lesson out of it. So that's how I felt initially.
Okay. What part of it bothered you the most?
Well, as I thought about it, for about a week I was in the doldrums. I lost my funny mojo. I wasn't enjoying my life. I couldn't understand. I thought it was malicious, and it might have been. I haven't had anybody apologize for it yet. They did take it down. And I figured, I wrote it off and got on with my life as just some high schoolers that aren't quite thinking straight yet, thinking it was funny. So I dismissed it and have got on with my life. I am looking for an apology yet, though. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
It did cause a week of stress that I wasn't very happy with. When people don't, they give you a label. That's a label. They gave me a label that wasn't my label, and they did it anonymously. They impersonated me, and it was derogatory, and it was anonymous, and I'm not very good with anonymous. People got something to say about me, well, say it to my face. Don't go behind my back and say things that are unkind. If you know me, that just isn't right. So anyway, I hope I gave enough in that prelude where I came from that you know that's not me. Go ahead.
What else have you been through as a result of this experience?
What else? Well, the hurt, the pain for about a week. And it does steal my thoughts every now and then. Not often anymore. With time, all wounds are healed. And I had a young lady, I'll say, come up to me and, weeks after, say, somebody impersonated you on Twitter? which is the reason I came to the Faces of Taft and said, hey, actually I went to my head videographer and said, hey, we need to do a video about it, but that never got off the ground. But this Faces of Taft is a good forum, and I came to you and I said, hey, this isn't going away. I mean, people are going to wonder about this. You know, is there truth to it? And yeah, it bothered me enough to come to you guys and say, all right, let's tell the real story. That I was totally surprised and shocked by it. Heard by it for a while. I'm over it. I think everybody's going to get over it. Hope nobody believes it. And I would like an apology.
Do you think you reacted to this differently than other people might?
I think I am very fortunate, blessed indeed, that we have a principal like Miss Tolman. And she took care of it. You know, if it had been something that was left out there to be hurtful for a lengthy period of time, I mean, I think that does qualify as cyberbullying. But it wasn't left to be like that. It was taken care of, taken down, because we got a great principal that's on top of things and got it done. Myself, no, I think I got the same reactions anybody would have. It hurt my feelings. And typically when you get your feelings hurt, you can either get real angry or internalize it. Say, oh, I'm not so good. Well, I'm not going to internalize it. I've learned that lesson through many years, and I hope people listening to this, you get picked on. Don't internalize what they're doing to you. It's their view of you, and really what matters is how you view yourself. Did I get angry? No, I'm too controlled anymore to really. Did it make me sad for a while that people that I had taught and thought I had a good connection with would treat me like that? Yeah, that didn't feel good. Still doesn't. I would like an explanation.
Does your history in the military play any part in this, or the way you reacted?
Oh, probably. Who knows? You are what you have experienced, and yes, I am a controlled person and have to be calculating at least a little bit to make it through the officer corps of the Air Force. I have, since really the emotional growth school, delved into emotions. I am fair to well connected with them too, and I do, when somebody says something mean or tries to project what they think I'm thinking, when it's wrong, I don't buy into it. I just put the hand up and say, yeah, it's not me. And that is something that I don't know whether it's a military or just comes with age. You take what is said about you with a grain of salt. You'd wish everybody liked you, but no, I am a blessing to some. I'm a curse to others. Like some teachers, some students, let me put it this way, some students like me, other students don't. All of us have our gifts and talents here on the faculty, and fortunately, they're diverse enough that a kid can find a place to fit in, a teacher to connect with.
Do you think other people see you in a different way because of this?
I hope not. I'm sure there are some.
Do you see yourself in a different way because of this?
No. I'm just me. pretty much, boy, everybody has this stuff they don't want to share in public, but that's not one of the things. If I'm making sense there, I'm not worried about being let me say this. I think that the students that put that up thought that the only way somebody could be that happy would be to be high.
Not just happy in general.
Yeah.
They need some sort of substance to make
Yes.
them that happy.
Yes. So maybe in their mind that's what I have done, but no. And it doesn't change me for who I am.
How has being a part of CAT helped you
Oh,
dealing with this situation?
having colleagues that know and support me, wonderful. You gotta have a group of friends, a network, a homies, people that love you and will help you through the tough times. And yeah, I got a lot of them here. I get along with everybody on the faculty. There's nobody that dislikes me, I don't think. And if they do, they don't tell me anyway.
What people have helped you get to the point you're at today?
Well, definitely Miss Tolan here. You mean overall in life or just at Taft, from Taft?
Overall.
Well, my parents loved me. I had no question about that. They also pushed me. I didn't like it at the time, but it was good. I had lots of friends in the military that, you just get to know them and you like them, and they're still friends. My wife, 41 years with me, rock solid. My children, they love me and support me. And then right here, right now, what do we have? We've got Miss Tolan. She stood up for me right away, got this taken care of. We've got Barton Howe that got me on Faces of Taft and telling my story and making sure people understand who I am. That's good. Now, I like the Martins. I like both the Martins. I like the Hensleys. Avery's my next door neighbor. Can bounce things off of her. I like all this new faculty we got coming in. I like Mary Rassler. I like a lot of the TAs. I like Miss Yoder down in math. Oh, I could keep going on. I really get a lot of support. Everybody's the Dresslers. I was in my class the other day, 4th period, 6th period. Ryan Hawkins calls just to check up on me. I don't know if he's heard about this. Probably has. It's a scuttlebutt type of thing. It's a gossip type of thing. So I think it's going to bang around a while, but I think any damage that could have been done have been mitigated by good friends, and still looking for that apology though. That was concluded.
That would definitely give you a little bit of closure.
Yes.
Just to know that somebody's sincerely sorry about what they did.
Didn't mean to do it. Didn't think it was that damaging. Really thought it was going to be funny and not mean-spirited, because that does cross my mind still on occasion, that it was done mean-spiritedly.
Hopefully nobody thought that this was going to result in them being foolish and
Yes.